What's the best type of workout? Cardio or lifting weights? Well, it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, but if we're looking at a truly health perspective, lifting weights shades cardio by a bit, and let me explain why. Now, I'm also not saying cardio isn't beneficial. It certainly is, and cardio is going to be great for mental stress, it's great for our lung capacity and our endurance, and we need it. Let's face it, as we get older, we don't want to feel like we need to stop and take a breath because we've walked inside from the car. That's not a way to live, but lifting weights is going to be even more valuable for a number of reasons. So first of all, to have really great health, we need to have a strong immune system. To have a strong immune system, our body needs to be able to produce a lot of energy. What's the number one way to produce energy? Have more muscle. Now, there is always a tipping point. You'll look at the energy expenditure that a bodybuilder has for their body because they've got so much muscle. There can be negatives and downsides to that. So it's not about getting as big as you possibly can, but the vast majority of the population could probably stand to add a little bit more muscle. So that means lifting heavier weights. And we need to do that multiple times a week. The ideal is 3 to 5 times a week. And again, it's not just high rep toning up, it's actually lifting heavy weights. And ladies, if you're watching this, lifting heavy weights isn't going to make you bulky and huge. It is going to build the right type of muscle. It'll leave you toned. It's also the best way to burn fat. A lot of people think they need to run on the treadmill to drop the extra weight and body fat, but having muscle and adding muscle turns you into a fat burner. Again, it all comes down to this energy component. So if you want to lose fat, sure, you can go and run on a treadmill, ride a bike, do those things to help, but you're only going to get to a point and you will hit a wall with your weight loss. It's lifting those heavy weights that's going to do it for you. So you don't need to do it more than 4 or 5 times a week because now you're going to get injured. Got to give our body a chance to relax because when we lift heavy weights, we are actually causing damage, but it's intentional damage so that our body can then repair. We're tearing up muscle so that it will repair stronger and bigger. We get that muscle hypertrophy, that muscle growth. That's what we're looking for. Hey there, if you're struggling with gut health, I just wanted to let you know about my free Facebook gut health support group. You'll see it on the screen here. Just click the link and you can join that. We cover all sorts of more in-depth tips on what testing to do, how to deal with underlying biotoxins, things like that. So jump in the group. I'd love to have you in there. Anyway, back to the video. Then to continue adding more energy for your body, you can also supplement with magnesium. You can make sure you're eating a high protein diet. This is why so many people who eat a lot more good quality meat than plants tend to put on muscle a little bit easier. And quite often you'll find that they have a stronger immune response to things because they're getting that protein and muscle and energy. Then we also need to make sure we're obviously not doing things that are going to crush our immune system. You can't just add muscle and eat a bunch of sugar and chemicals and expect to stay healthy. But then other than adding magnesium and protein through our diet, you can also add a product I use. It's called BC ATP by Cellcore. What that does is it helps the mitochondria in our cells produce more ATP, which essentially is energy. So now if you're lifting weights 3 to 5 times a week, you're eating a higher protein, high fat, clean diet. You're not eating any junk that's going to create inflammation. You're also doing some cardio for your mental health because that's important, and for your lung capacity, and especially if you're pushing hard to get that VO2 max up. So pushing into the anaerobic fitness, when you're doing all of that and you're supplementing with magnesium and you're supplementing with that BCATP, you're going to burn fat, your body fat percentage is going to drop, your muscle tone is going to increase and your muscles are going to grow bigger and stronger. Then you're going to like what you see in the mirror, so you're going to be happier, you're going to be healthier because you're going to have a stronger immune response, and overall your life is just going to get better. So if you could only have one or the other, I would say lift weights every single time. If you're struggling to find time to work out, prioritize lifting weights, but try not to ignore the cardio. But of course, they're both important. It's not a one or the other. I just often see that question get asked, which one's better? Well, if you look at the straight health benefits, weightlifting probably wins, but also people use them for the wrong thing. Don't use cardio to burn fat. Use lifting weights. Use cardio for your endurance and your mental health. That's the whole purpose there. So if you're struggling with what to do with the workout, what you should do when you're lifting, how many reps you should do, all that kind of stuff, leave a comment on this video and let's help you develop a game plan so that you know what to do when you go to the gym, so you're not just standing around confused and worried about looking silly or anything like that. Your health is far too important to not go and do that.